Edition of the show will talk about the significance of national native languages, or simply put, the mother tongue. Now, reaching out to members of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu elaborated on the importance of strong foundational skills in the first language in the initial years of informal training at home, and of course, further broadening avenues as we grow further in our academics. Describing the first learned and spoken mother tongue as a soul of life, the Vice President and Chairman of Rajya Sabha passionately urged members of Parliament, both the houses, to actively contribute to the causes of preservation and promotion of Indian languages. Now, to discuss further on this important issue, we are joined with a panel of three guests. Dr. Narayan Chaudhary, he is Assistant Director, Central Institute of Indian Languages. KG Suresh is Senior Journalist, and A. Vinod, National Trustee, Bharatiya Bhasha Manch. Many thanks, gentlemen, for joining us. Let me start with you, Dr. Narayan Chaudhary. How important do you think, from the point of view of a person working in terms of preserving Indian languages, is having communication, or for that matter, owning our own skills in mother tongues?
Thank you, Rajat-ji.
Thank you.
So, we at CIL is the sole agency, I mean not sole I would say, but rather the mandated agency which works on the promotion of all Indian languages except for, let's say, 4 languages where we have separate institutions with the name of Sanskrit, Hindi, Sindhi and Urdu. For these 4 languages you have a separate institution, and for the rest of the languages CIL is supposed to coordinate with the works on promotion of all Indian languages. And of course today we are talking about native languages, especially in the context of International Mother Language Day. Honorable Vice President Venkaiah Naidu sir has been very kind enough and very enthusiastic about promoting all Indian language, and he takes personal interest towards this. And I personally, the whole of our institute and everyone in India is witnessing that, not just in terms of the promotion of language that is happening during the recent times, also because the kind of changes we are seeing both in the both houses, the Parliament, the judiciary, the higher educational institutions, all the places we are giving a focus on mother tongues or the native languages. So that is a big change that is happening, and this is a welcome thing. Here, I would like to point out a few things which some people might get confused with. If you see, Venkaiah Naidu sir himself has stated that in India we have 19,500 languages. It's not actually languages. What he meant was basically the mother tongues. And the mother tongues that are unique mother tongues that has been given, returned by the people of India when the Ministry of Home Affairs did the survey, the 2011 survey that happened. That in that we got 19,500 names, unique names of the mother tongues.
Well, that include like vernaculars and dialects and other things, right?
Yes, yes, yes. To give you an example, let's say, for example, if you go to a village where people do not understand what language is, they would say, okay, my language is Dehati. Now we know that Dehati is not a language, but Dehati would be a term that is given to them. And similarly, there would be different terms across different dialects. So those terms have come. But when it comes to rationalization, the Registrar General of India comes up with the total rationalized number of mother tongues as 1,369. Now, these are mother tongues, which includes smaller languages and other things. But the languages, when you come to the actual fact of numbers of languages that can be validatably, rationally said that yes, they are separate languages, then the number is total 121 as per Census of India. And if you look at even internationally, who do some kind of linguistic analysis on whether a language can be called a language or it is just a subpart or kind of a variation of a particular language, then there are some unofficial figures which may put this number to be, let's say, for example, 500 or something.
Okay.
Now, these 121 languages, these are languages that are being spoken by more than 10,000 people in India. Out of this, 22 scheduled languages that we have in India, which are given in Schedule 8 status, they combinedly comprise of a total of 96% of total population of India. So the rest of 3% of people of India speak different languages, and there are smaller language communities. And of course, they also have some kind of a threat which we keep on getting. Everyone is aware of it. We get a lot of parliament, which is our leaders are sensitized to that.
Dr. Chaudhary,
and we are working
certainly. Right. Many thanks, Dr. Chaudhary, for your opening remarks. I'll come back to just stay on. KG Suresh, sir, we know that it's not for the first time that Honorable Vice President has spoken or stressed about mother tongues and the native language. Now here, when it comes to the communication, usually have you seen in your career as a journalist and then as a, I would say, as an academic, that native language somewhere still remains to be explored or hasn't really reached that potential when it comes to other areas? We still have a fairly common language to communicate for institutional purpose. Native language so far hasn't reached that stage. Is it so?
Absolutely, Rajat. Thanks. My compliments to Rajya Sabha TV for organizing this discussion.
Many thanks,
I must really appreciate the Honorable Vice President. He has always been passionate about Indian languages, regional languages, for the simple reason that I had the privilege of working under him when he was the Honorable Information and Broadcasting Minister, and I was the Director General of Indian Institute of Mass Communication. I vividly remember how we had launched programs in Marathi journalism from our Amravati campus, Malayalam journalism from our Kerala campus, and Urdu and Sanskrit journalism from our Delhi campus. So, and he was so supportive. He came for the program, he lauded the program, and he wanted us to start more such language programs. So he has always been passionate about language. The future of Indian media itself is in the languages, and because more and more people are wanting to, and I've seen, believe me, whether it is my Amravati campus or my Kerala campus, even today I get reports from my former staff there. They say that the maximum enthusiasm is for the regional languages. And today, people even from the remote areas of the states are today from very poor families, very humble families, humble background. They are today joining these courses, because it resonates. Otherwise, we were teaching only English language in these campuses. Today, there is a connect we have been able to establish with the state and its people because of this language, and we are having this discussion on the eve of the International Mother Languages Day. Please remember that this has a great significance. This is celebrated in Bangladesh, in Bengal, as Ekushe Farwari. Ekushe Farwari is something on 21st February is when people laid down their lives in defense of their language. In the then East Pakistan, people were shot dead because they were demanding that their language also be declared as a national language along with Urdu, and then it led to the creation of Bangladesh. This happened on 21st February 1952. So, and it is at the behest of Bangladesh and Bangladeshis that today globally we celebrate this International Mother Language Day. Mother language, yes, you are right that even today there is a little bit of, and that is, believe me, that is because we have been, I would call it the colonial hangover, wherein we are still, that 300 years of British colonialism, which made us somewhere feel that our languages are inferior and, English is a superior language. This is not for or against any language, but it is important that the mother language, what the Vice President, Honorable Vice President stressed in the letter to the members of Parliament, you know, that the foundation of any child, in fact, he referred right to, right from the Mahabharata, when you had Abhimanyu in the womb of Subhadra, and he recalls that, and how that child learned the basics of many things from, you know, while being in the womb. So that's the impact of mother language, that, you know, and that is why even in this, the latest new education, national education policy, you find that the emphasis is on the mother language.
Right.
In the initial years in the primary schools, it is very important. So I believe that once that is established, you see, it is important that each of us, you know, think originally. And believe me, the original thinking happens only in one's mother tongue. You know, when you
Absolutely, that's
translate it
true.
into some other foreign language, it doesn't come naturally, you know. So the spontaneous, expression of any human being is in his mother tongue, you know.
Right.
Whether he's being happy or he's being sad, you know, it comes out in his mother tongue. So I think that that importance of mother tongue has been emphasized by the Honorable Vice President, and it has been reiterated in the national education policy, which is very, supportive of the mother languages. And I'm sure that if the leadership is, you know, actually taking the initiative, the day is not far when more and more people would consider it much more relevant and fashionable to speak in their mother tongue rather than, you know, speak in any other language.
Right. Many thanks, KJ Suresh. I'll come back to you, sir. Mr. Vinod, National Trustee from Bharati Bhasha Manch. So, like, there is a broader consensus in the panel that, of course, like in several years, we have seen that mother tongue has been left behind in terms of perhaps it's like more fashionable to speak a common language that is spoken